Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bushnell Prairie City High School, the Sand Valley Conference meet for the junior high here today. Let's see if we can run this microphone down to you that way. Got it? You're not going to, thankfully for everyone at home that might be watching's sake, you're not going to be stuck just listening to me today. You also have, I've known this guy for several years, but I knew him as Coach Butcher, and then now everybody here knows him as Principal Butcher. But Mr. Butcher, Coach Butcher, whatever you want to call him, I guess, is here to help us today. And I brought in the expert because, Coach, you actually understand track and field a little bit more than I do. I was a track manager for 3 years, so I learned some of the ins and outs, but you actually have a scorebook in front of you.
Dwayne, you're too kind. I'm like a little kid at a professional baseball game. I'm just keeping score because it's how you do things. But, yeah, I've been around track and field for about 25 years. So,
well, I know that you and I have talked during basketball season once. If you want to put that mic close to your mouth, and then we can hear you a little better probably. There you go.
How's that?
That's a lot better. I'm actually going to – okay, that's better. We talked a little bit about some of the stuff you had done in the past. So, anyway, we're trying to get a remote camera to work here. I apologize, folks. You coached a lot of basketball, and that's more of what I knew you from. But you have coached a lot of other stuff, too, and track is one of the things that I talked to you at the last football game, and you mentioned that you've always wanted to try and get some track stuff on TV or on air or whatever. So what do you think is the key to making this a successful broadcast? We did one the other night. I don't know if it was successful or not, but did get a lot of kids seen anyway.
Well, I think practice. This isn't something that we've typically done until you get to the state meet level, and it's not done as well as some of the other events. So, you've got the equipment for it, and we've got a great facility here in Bushnell. That's a big start. So
that'll
go a long ways.
That was the 7th grade hurdles, is that right, or was that 8th grade?
7th grade girls.
7th grade girls just finished that. And we have a multitude of schools here, but the Sand Valley Conference, Mr. Butcher, is smaller schools, so don't have a lot of kids here today, even though we got 6 schools, I think.
Well, I'm sure we'll have somebody in every event, and every event will be interesting. It's a brisk day out here. This is a early track season. Don't go for the best times on a day like today. This is chilly.
Now, do you get wind aided on I know they do wind aided stuff in the higher echelon. Do they do that at high school level too, and junior high?
I think they do that on certain events at the state meet. But that's the only place they'll recognize a state record. I mean, you can have an unofficial state record at another meet or a sectional or regular meet, but when you get down to state and you get into the long jump, and I think, now I'm on air, so if I'm wrong, I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but I think maybe pole vault might be, and I'm pretty sure the 100 and the 110 hurdles, they're going to get win times. I don't know if they change them, but you'll get an asterisk there that it was wind dated.
And there's a little bit of wind today. I would imagine today would be a day you'd get one of those as we get ready for Mr. Sargent to start the 8th grade girls.
Yeah, the problem is when the wind's blowing the wrong direction, they don't tell you, they don't give you an asterisk then.
Yeah, right.
And make your time better. But if it happens to be at your back, which is a gift, they use it against you.
I was Coach Rotifer was up here earlier and telling one of the kids to stay lower over the hurdles, and I actually said when you're going over the hurdle, your opposite hand reaches your toe, right?
Correct.
And I said I never ran hurdles, but I spent enough time around track back in the day that I remembered that was one of the huge coaching points. Darren Havens, who might still have some of the hurdle records at junior high, was crazy fast in 7th and 8th grade in the hurdles, and he would miss the hurdle by half an inch, and he would almost touch his toe every time he went over a hurdle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be proper. When you're talking about hurdles and people start talking about jumping the hurdles, that's wrong. You're supposed to step the hurdles, and when you're really good at it, you're hitting about every one of them.
One of my best memories from being a junior high manager was Darren Havens at a sectional at Monmouth College brought his back leg through too quick and broke the hurdle without knocking it over. So that maybe the hurdle wasn't any good. I mean, I don't know, but at any rate, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's Karate Kid kind of stuff. I unfortunately never had that problem. So,
yeah, I tried a hurdle one time. Keyword being tried,
mm-hmm.
and you can imagine how that probably went, right?
Well, it's probably similar to mine. I think I tried it once, and my dad said, "Let's go try something else."
Yeah, yeah. I never had much luck with the hurdles. So James Shriver was a kid that was in my class, and he was pretty good at the hurdles too. And I think he went to state. But he would practice. He took a hurdle home, and he'd practice in his machine shed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And those guys were really good, and I was not that good. So I don't know. I could not. I think maybe it's the jumping and stepping thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those guys weren't much taller than me, but I never felt comfortable stepping over a hurdle. I always felt like I had to jump it.
Right.
And I couldn't jump high enough to make myself think I could clear it.
Well, right now what they're doing is they're moving the hurdles back to the blue marks, which is where the boys go from. And I think, is in junior high, do they do the 110?
Yeah, the 110 hurdles.
Okay, and so that's why they're moving them back. But the good thing in junior high, they don't raise them up. So the boys and girls go from the same height. When you get into high school, these are going to raise up, I think, 2 notches for girls and all the way up for boys. So it's quite a huge difference from 8th grade to your freshman year when you're competing in the 100 and 110 hurdles.
Did they still have low hurdles and high hurdles in high school, or is it just one hurdle?
They do. They've got in Illinois, they've got the 300 lows. And the boys are, I believe, halfway down, and the girls are all the way down. If you go over into Iowa and some other states, they still have the 400 hurdles. And that's almost cruel to do to kids.
A 400 is bad. A 400 is a sprint as it is, and that's a long sprint. And then you add hurdles into it. Here's the 7th grade boys 110 hurdles getting ready to go here. So we got 6 runners, 2 through 6.
Clean start. We have a young man that's reaching up and touching that toe, and he's the one that's leading.
That's right. You're doing it every time.
Yep.
The other thing that you notice as you watch, they do the same steps most of the time, and they lead with the same leg every time, right?
So, well, if you're a boy, this is easier, but you're supposed to 3-step the hurdles. And so you'll notice in between they take 3 long strides and then step over that hurdle and just keep attacking it. When you're younger, I'm going to say some of these kids are still, boys are going to 5-step, which is not good, but if you got to start somewhere. So a lot of girls in high school will 4-step, and that alternates your leg. So an even number of steps alternates what leg you're going to be hurdling with. And there are some girls in high school that are very successful 4-steppers, very fast, but they have to be good at both foot going over the hurdles.
So does that mean you have to practice twice as much?
Yeah, I would say probably yes. And same thing in the 300 lows.
Whoa, look at what team is that? That red and black. Do we know? Dallas City?
That's Dallas
LaHarp,
City.
Dallas City.
Okay.
Man, LaHarp, Dallas City has been fast in the hurdles, all 3 of these, and they've got an 8th grader that's getting ready to come that does a very good job of getting over the hurdles.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's 8th grade and 7th grade girls.
Okay. Amen.
Yep.
Coach Rutherford's down there talking to Mr. Butcher about the results. I think he's already got some up here. We're getting ready to do the 8th grade hurdles in just a second, and then I'll have to clear the hurdles, so we'll have a few minutes. You want to do those? You want to read those off, or do you want to wait until after the hurdles are done? Looks like they're getting close to being ready. They're put the hand up, so they're ready to go.
We'll wait
here.
till after this heat.
Mr. Sargent's getting the gun ready. Watch this LaHarpe Dallas City kid. He's very good. Oh, he's an every other legger too.
Yes, he's a 4-stepper.
He almost shuffles, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a young man that needs to learn to 3-step because he's getting awfully close to that hurdle. As he gets just a little bit older,
maybe take a little bit longer stride, and he'll be able to do that a
longer
little
stride,
easier.
he'll be 3-stepping him. Of course, the height's going to go up for him next year, but maybe by the end of this year he'll be 3-stepping him. And
So-
if he is, we'll be looking at him in the state meet.
So we'll get results here in just a minute for everybody after he gets them written in. We're going to take a break here. You'll see a black screen. We're going to try and get our sideline camera to work.
Help out with that, that would be greatly appreciated.
So give us just a second here.
Second call, boys field events. Please report to your field events. Second call, boys field events. First call, girls 100. First call, girls 100. Report to the north end of the track, please. First call, girls 100.
So once again, bear with us, folks. We're just trying to get a couple of minor issues worked out here. Trying to get you a sideline camera again today, but for some reason our cameras are not wanting to pick up. There it is. So you see, we'll go back to the main camera as the last runner is getting their time and their name. And Coach Butcher is writing his stuff down. Hey, Kenny. Yep. Go find out what channel he's on. He's on channel 8. All right, we're back here, getting ready to do the girls 100-meter dash now. We could have multiple flights of some of this
Last
stuff.
call, boys field events.
We are not running heats, and then finals we're just running timed straight across the board, correct, Mr. Butcher?
I believe so.
Second call, girls 100.
So that means that everybody will run one time, and all the times will be put together, and the fastest time will be the winner. So we're getting ready to do the 100-meter dash now.
Yeah, this should be the 7th grade girls. I'm going to read your results for the 7th grade girls 100 hurdles real quick here. In 4th place, Miley Barnes from Bushnell. In 3rd place, Caroline Spangler from Bushnell. 2nd place, Claire Box from Monmouth ICS. And in 1st place, with a time of 20.29 seconds, is Grace Getch from LaHarpe Dallas City.
And here goes the 100-meter dash for the 7th grade girls. Underway. Looks like a BPC runner on the near lane, which is lane number 7, is your leader. Kind of fading towards the end. It looked like a little bit maybe Mr. Butcher, but she's going to get the win.
Yep. I'm not sure if that was ICS or if that was Bushnell.
Well, it could have been ICS. I think ICS is in that solid blue, aren't they?
Are they? Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Hey, we got to win.
So how explain, I kind of explained the other night for anybody that was watching what the points were, how they work. Could you explain to everybody how the points work a little bit as far as team points? Obviously, if you win, your event, you win. But how do the team points work?
So I believe in this meet, because of the size of it, they score at 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. They're placing 6 places. On an 8-lane track, you can place up to 8 points, which would be 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 6, in this case, 6th place is getting a point, 5th place is getting 2, 4th place is getting 4, 3rd place 6, 2nd place 8, and 1st place is getting 10. So each event, you have the opportunity to have up to 2 people score in that event. So the more people on your team score, and the higher they finish, obviously, the more points you rack up, and the highest team total at the end of the meet. Each division, 7th grade girls will have a champion, as well as 8th, and then 7th and 8th boys.
I got the places listed for you. You want to give me
So it looks like we have Ethan over at the long jump. So we'll go to him in just a second here. They just did a jump, so we'll do it after the 100-meter dash for the 8th grade girls. They do have a 3rd flight, so this I would appear to me to be probably the 7th grade, the 2nd flight of 7th graders. It is the 2nd flight of 7th graders getting ready to come up now.
Okay.
So normally they do it in heats, fast heats, right? So the fastest runners from each school run in one flight, and normally those would be the last flight to run. But Coach Schneider, I believe, told me they're going to do that opposite. So the fastest will run first, and then from their times in earlier meets, if they had times.
Okay, that could be. I don't.
That's
you can do it either way. Typically, you're right. They do the fastest heat last.
Well, we'll be able to tell when, because both of the Harp Dallas City runners are in this, and none of these are using blocks, it doesn't look like.
Well, sometimes early in the season, if you haven't got to practice those yet. I know early in the year when the weather's not good outside and it's hard to practice blocks indoors.
Boy, it would be cold today down there in shorts and tank tops, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a good day to have your sweats ready.
That's the A-Town runners on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Very close to each other, nearly out of the lane. She was out of her lane for a second. Now, does that equal a disqualification?
Well, it depends. First of all, you got to have somebody see it, and we don't have anybody watching that. But I'll tell you the rule on it. If you interfere with somebody, it's an automatic disqualification if you're out of your lane. But what it is, if you have enough people watching, if you take 3 consecutive steps or 3 consecutive steps with the same foot out of your lane, it's a disqualification. So usually when something like that happens, it happens on a curve in a distance race where somebody tries to cut the corner some, and maybe their left foot goes 3 times in a row outside of that. And if they do, that's a disqualification.
Well, how about if you lose a shoe and it hits another runner?
that can happen.
It did happen on last Thursday night. That's why.
Oh, did it?
That's why I was asking, actually.
If it altered that runner, if it altered their finish, then yeah, I would say that could be a disqualification. You can actually drop your baton. You can leave your lane, go pick it up, return to your lane in the same place and finish and not be disqualified because you didn't interfere or gain an advantage by it. Here's the results of the 8th grade girls 100 hurdles. In 3rd place, Lieb of Bushnell Prairie City. In 2nd place, Brandt from Bushnell. And in 1st place with a time of 19.71, Alexandria Lopez of La Harpe Dallas City.
Sorry about that, folks. Had to step away for just a second, getting everything lined up. So we're going to have a live camera, as we've shown a little bit here. We do have one live camera that will show some finish line stuff and also some field event stuff. Then we will also do a recording, and what we're going to do is the recording is the field events, and we will post videos of the field event recordings later on, probably tonight. So we're getting ready to go for the 8th grade 100-meter dash now, it would appear. Do they still call it a 100-meter dash?
Yes.
Is it a dash?
Yep.
And the 400 is a sprint.
The 400 is still called the dash.
It is a dash?
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, and 4.
So Ethan is over getting some high jump footage as well now. But we'll go back to the start of the 100 here. Got 7 runners in this one. It's an ICS with the lead. La Harpe Dallas City closing good. That's going to be a good finish. Looks like maybe La Harpe Dallas City got him at the end. I don't know. That was very close. Very good run. Wish we would have had our
Team is that?
West Central.
Second call, girls 1600. Please report to the benches down on the south end of the track. Second call, girls 1600.
So that was a good run. That's about the closest finish I've seen in our 2 track meets. It'll be interesting to see, Mr. Butcher, when those times come up, to see how close they actually were.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
It looked like to me that the Dallas City La Harpe runner, or La Harpe Dallas City runner, may have closed, but I saw the lean come from the ICS runner first, so we'll have to wait and see.
Was that the 8th grade girls?
That was 8th grade
Yeah,
girls.
we'll
We're
have to
moving
pay
on to
attention
the
to
next
that.
event.
Here are the results of your 7th grade boys 110 hurdles. In 6th place, Holden Martin of Bushnell. In 5th place, Jackson Reed of West Central. In 4th place, Aiden Garner of West Central. In 3rd place, Chase Heath of La Harpe Dallas City. In 2nd place, Carson Lieb of Bushnell. And in 1st place, with a time of 20.5 seconds, Aiden Hawker of La Harpe Dallas City. There's an example of big points for a team. La Harpe Dallas City took 1st and 3rd in that event. So they got 16 points, and Bushnell got 2nd and 6th, and that's 9 points. So that's a difference maker.
Working on a PA, you might have heard a little bit of hum in the background. See if it. Getting ready to do the 1600 now.
Last call, girls 1600. 7th and 8th grade girls. Last call 1600. Please report out to the line. First call, girls 4 by 200. First call, girls 4 by 200. Please report to the benches at the end of the track.
Ethan's down at the start of the 1600. Miles will have the entire thing. We'll leave occasionally to watch some high jump and so on as we move through the day. We'll switch back to Miles here. I want to thank our sponsors who, of course, without our sponsors wouldn't have any of the equipment that we're able to do this with here this year. We've had a bunch of sponsors come on both for West Prairie and BPC Sports, so we thank all of them greatly. Of course, MTC Communications, Yetter Farm Equipment, Country Financial Agent Brent Powell, Hensley Grain, Webb Family Farms, Good Hope Gardens,
Second call, girls 4
and
by
Princess Shop.
200. Second call, girls 4 by 200.
Of course, TSSR Game Time Live is presented by MDH.
South end of the track.
We would not be able to do this without the help of all the great sponsors. We'll tell you more about those and show you some advertisements as we roll through the day. Just getting a good start here at Bushnell Prairie City High School. I guess really it's a Bushnell Prairie City junior senior high complex almost in this instance, isn't it?
Yep, it sure is. Getting ready to start the mile. 7th and 8th girls. And they're off.
Now what is I don't remember the little run before they start deal. What is that?
Well, they changed that a couple of years ago. There's only 2 calls in a distance race now. I guess I don't know if there always has been, but they have you back up, and then when they say runners to your mark, you step up to the line and come to a stop, and then he'll shoot the gun and go.
Gotcha. So I was wondering, they did that the other day. Now, did you see that? The La Harpe Dallas City runner, I think there's 2 of them up front. He was ahead, and he actually slowed down to almost a stop to what the other runner catch him. But now he's going to pull away from him again.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing.
Well,
I'd be tucking in behind somebody and letting them take that wind.
Especially if I was a little guy like that, I'd be tucking in behind the big guy, right?
Yes, yep. Hey, I've got the results for the 8th grade boys 110 hurdles.
Okay.
In 5th place, Jaden Robinson of Bushnell. In 4th place, Mikey Schramm of West Central. In 3rd place, Kyle Stonger, La Harpe Dallas City. In 2nd place, Talon Love, Bushnell Prairie City. And in 1st place with a time of 17.21 seconds, Sean Watkins Jr. of La Harpe Dallas City.
So Ethan is still getting the mile. So we'll let you take a look at that as they come to the stretch to complete the first 400 meters.
Exchange zone judges, please, to report. Exchange zone judges on the next 2 races, the 4x1 and the 4x2.
There is the leaders crossing the 400-meter mark. So 1/4 of the way done.
Last call 4x2 girls, please report to the benches. Last call 4x2 girls. First call 4x100 girls relay. 4x100 girls relay, first call.
So we're still working on the second 800 meters. You know, and I thought the other day, Mr. Butcher, if I was on this really, I would have kept time on some of these so we could have had it close to a half break. And, of course, it would have been unofficial. But I know that one of the boys from Macomb ran a 1:24 first 400 meters, which I thought was actually pretty good for a start of a mile for an 8th or 7th grader, isn't it?
Well, I would say it doesn't sound too bad. It's going to get you under 6 minutes if you keep somewhat that pace up. I'd say that's pretty good for a 7th grade boy.
So we got one Bushnell girl running here, or a West Central Heat girl running here, excuse me, an ICS. And I think both the girls up front are actually
Dallas City, La
Harpe,
Harpe.
Dallas City, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think they're both that, even though they're a little bit different. One's not wearing
Second call, girls
a long sleeve underneath their tank top, and the other one
Report
is.
to the bullpen, please, down there at the end. Report to the benches at the south end of the track. Second call, girls 4x100 meter relay.
So as you can hear, 4x100 is getting ready to go in just a minute. So we'll take a look at see what Ethan is looking at. He's waiting for the high jump to get going here. That pole is not much higher than the mat. Oh, there they go. It was setting on the mat. That's the reason why.
I've got your 8th grade girls results for the 100-meter dash. In 6th place, Sierra Shannon of Bushnell Prairie City. In 5th place, Abby Nelson, Bushnell Prairie City. In 4th place, Anna Servin of A-Town. In third place, Rosie Flynn of ICS. In second place, Katie Flynn, ICS. And in first place, with a time of 13.5 seconds, Alexandria Lopez of La Harpe, Dallas City.
La Harpe, Dallas City's having a good meet so far.
Yeah, that girl just doubled. She won the 100 hurdles and she won the 100-meter dash. And a 13.5 as an 8th grader in the 100-meter dash. And this weather is pretty darn good.
Yeah, that's she's moving right along.
Yeah. She'd be on a lot of high school relay teams.
The leader on the mile took a second there to catch their breath and take back off. Now, here's a question that some people at home, I don't know, may have. When it's this cold, and it hasn't been this cold for a while, this air makes it a lot harder to run, doesn't it? I mean, it's harder on your lungs to get good oxygen when it's this cold out?
Yeah, I'd say cold air's rough on your lungs. I don't know the science of it, but from experience, yes.
Go back to the high jump now as these boys are in the high jump. Ethan is down shooting some high jump for us. Of course, we're recording all this that we can, and then we'll be putting a bunch of stuff up on our YouTube channel, Hewlett Probably Pro LLC's YouTube channel. I think we need to stop going to Ethan, though, because every time we go to Ethan, they don't make the jump. We're jinxing everybody that we put on camera. So we've got 3/4 done. The final 400, is that right? I believe we're at the final 400, and the leader is walking on the backstretch. She's got a 100-meter lead, though. So and now the second place runner has slowed as well, and West Central takes over the second spot. How hard is it? Like La Harpe, Dallas City, they may still have their old cinder track in La Harpe, but they don't have much of a track anymore, and Dallas City doesn't have any track. West Prairie practices in Colchester. They don't have a track. How hard is it to do some of this stuff like that?
It's very hard. When I first started off, we had to let an all-weather track go, and you had to get out and measure and paint and do it yourself. And every now and then you go someplace else to practice, get permission to maybe go to Western or something like that and practice on an actual track, and it was like a holiday. So I can tell you, if they've got a cinder track, it's not easy. It's depends on how solid it is, but the amount of time and effort every year that goes into putting marks out there, and if you're not hosting meets, which I don't know anybody other than Mendon Unity that has a cinder track that still hosts meets, that's a lot of work.
High jump, we're being told, is up to 4 feet, and the 1600 is done. The winner, anyway. West Central's got a good kick at the end by the West Central runner. And ICS has moved up to third as well, as we'll watch the finish of this, and then we'll go watch some high jump as we get ready for the 4x1.
Say that again.
And ICS finishes third. La Harpe, Dallas City is fourth. So they got first and fourth, and then we catch the very end of that A-Town jumper, I do believe. Again, they are at 4 feet is what Ethan just told us on the high jump.
Again, all girls.
What's
for the 4x1
state qualifying
should be down in
height's
the
like
bullpen.
5 something, isn't
All
it?
girls
For
the
boys?
4x1 should be down in the
You
bullpen.
know, I'd have to look. I really don't know. I'm sure it's over 5 feet. I would guess 5'6", 5'8".
I was thinking that Randy Coates jumped 5'10", or 5'11" was a school record when I was in school. I don't know if that's still there. I think Philip Hall might have broke that a little later. But
I was in Peoria at the Peoria Honor Roll meet with Randy Coates. He's my age, and that was the day he did 6'10", made the cover of the Peoria Journal-Star.
yeah, in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was his senior year. It was raining at the sectional meet, and he slipped and landed on his back and never did recover from that and didn't even make it to state. And then I think he was so mad about that, he came to the honor roll meet and did 6'10". It was unbelievable, and I think that record still stands. That was Well, I don't want to date myself, but that was 32 years ago, probably 31.
Yeah, he graduated. He was a 8th grader when I was a 6th grader, so he would have graduated in 90.
Yep.
Yeah, he could jump through the roof back in the day.
He could just float in the air. I mean, it was nothing for him to pass until you got to 6 foot or 6'2", and then start jumping.
4x100 is underway now, so we'll watch the first exchange. Well, they're running a long way on that exchange.
Oh, it's 4x2.
Oh, it is 4x2.
I hope.
It is 4x2, yep. Well, they had people standing over there, so
They must be getting ready to do the 4x1 next.
they must be. That must be what it was. They screwed me up when I saw that. I was like, I saw the two blue and white jerseys coming together all at one time, and
Well, we got 2 clean exchanges on the first corner.
and the white flags. I don't know if you people see the white flags or not, but the white flag means good and yellow means a problem, right?
Correct.
So ICS is the only team with 4x200 relays, it would appear. You might have just heard him say, if they're not running, tell them to get off the track, because that's kind of what got me there.
I'm going to give you the results of the 7th grade girls 100. I think this is where we had that tight one. In the second heat of that, our 2 of the runners in what was supposed to be the slower heat snuck in and got 2nd and 3rd. So in 6th place, Caldwell of ICS got 6th. In 5th place, Beekman of Bushnell Prairie City. In 4th place, Mahoney of ICS. In 3rd place, Randolph of A-Town. In 2nd place, Stiegel of A-Town. And in 1st place with a time of 14.55 seconds is Caroline Spangler of Bushnell Prairie City.
Good job, Caroline. Now, what was she was in lane 7 of that first one. How close was 2nd and 3rd place? Did they have a time on there?
I didn't think it was. Yeah, there's times on there. It wasn't that close. Oh, 2nd and 3rd was 0.06 of a second.
Yeah, finish of the 4x2 right here. ICS, of course, is going to get the win in both. Now they are lined up for the 4x1. So I was just a little early. You're right, Coach. I apologize.
Yeah, that's okay.
I at least I knew it was a relay, right? Is that is that any consolation?
Yeah. Well, I believed you till they kept running.
Well, I just glanced over there. Hey, I thought he cleared that there. It just caught it with his legs. It looked like his heels maybe. He didn't kick his heels up at the high jump. As I went to the high jump real quick. That's about the only event that you and I can see it all from here, isn't it, Coach, is the high jump. You can't see it real good, but
it's hard to see the long jump. We can see some throwing down there.
Looks like the high jump is done already.
Well, that could be.
Everybody's clearing out from there. So we're getting ready now for the 4x1. Now, I would have thought that some of these 4x2 kids would run the 4x1 also. Is that not – can you only run one relay?
I think in junior high you're only allowed to do one relay, isn't it? Well, I don't know. Mr. Rutherford, do you know that in junior high? You're only allowed to do –
They are not limited to one relay. They're back-to-back events, so you're
right.
Trying to keep kids out of them.
Before we start the 4x1 here, second call girls 400, please report to the bullpen. Second call girls 400, please report to the bullpen.
So Ethan is going to get the first exchange zone for us since he's in the infield. Then after he gets the first one, if he can turn the camera and zoom to the end of the front straightaway, he can get the 4th exchange maybe as well. 4x100. I think he's going to try and follow him all the way around here, so we'll let him pick him up when he clears traffic. Looks like Dave Norton is out taking photos today as well. We're getting ready to go here. Mr. Sargent is reloading his gun, I think. That's something you have to do occasionally, right? How do those cap guns work now? You used to have to reload them. Are they
Yeah, they're the same. They hold 6. Hey, what's that name right there, Mr. Rotifer?
Alexis Gallagher.
Okay, thank you.
Gulleher.
Looks like he is reloading, as a matter of fact. Now he's ready to go. 4x100 getting ready to go right here on the gun sound.
Clean start. Nobody using blocks again. You got to have enough blanks in that chamber to call them back if you have a false start.
Getting ready to go to the first exchange. Here they come. Ethan's over there. We'll show you that up close here. Second exchange, not a real good exchange for La Harpe Dallas City. Didn't take off early enough, it didn't look like.
We got a white flag, so a clean exchange.
It was clean. Just wasn't real smooth, but they're catching up, aren't they?
Yes.
They aren't. They don't even take off. They ran
my.
over each other. They have not practiced the exchange much, it does not appear.
Yeah, you can also get out there and it's a whole different ball game in the real thing, and sometimes you panic.
Back to Ethan again. There's a BPC exchange. No, that's a heat. No, it is BPC. I was right the first time. BPC looks like they're going to get first and second.
Yeah, it's probably 7th and 8th together. Okay.
And there's the finish. I forgot to switch the camera. It is recorded, but I forgot to switch it. I apologize.
First call, girls 200 meters. Girls 200, please report to the bullpen.
I'm gonna
200.
read the results from the 7th grade girls 1600 meter run.
That'll be perfect.
In 3rd place, Macy Lammer of La Harpe Dallas City. In 2nd place, Lexi Frakes of ICS. And in 1st place with a time of 7 minutes 46.56 seconds, Avery Moore of La Harpe Dallas City. So the two kids from La Harpe Dallas City that were in that were both 7th graders. The only 8th grader was Alexis Gallagher, so she won the 8th grade with a time of 8:03.97. There you go.
I can't tell. Ethan was going to walk over to the discus, but it looks like there's people over there, but there's nobody measuring, so they're either done or haven't started yet. And we have Kenny over recording as well, so we can get some video for that, and we'll do some stuff on that a little bit later.
First call here, girls
We'll take
800. First call here, girls 800. Please report to the bullpen.
and
Second call, girls 200.
what are we getting ready for
Second
here?
call, girls 200. Girls 200, you can report to the
Is this the
northeast
400?
corner of the track.
I thought the
Girls
400
200.
was last.
That's the 4x4.
Girls 800,
A
you can
4x4
report
is
to the
okay, this
bullpen
would be the
at
400 then.
end
So, yeah.
By the finish line.
Yeah, it's lanes. It's got to be. The 4x2 results, the 7th grade girls, ICS was your winner with a time of 2:17.24. They beat their, nope, they did not. 8th grade, ICS also won with a time of 2:09.24.
So Dallas City, La Harpe Dallas City had been doing very well early on. They really were leading that 4x1 too, in actuality, until they had the trouble on what would be the second exchange, right?
Yeah.
At the 200-meter mark, and fell down and ended up fourth. But I don't know if you probably don't keep a running total, but they would be running right up towards the front, I would think, in points. BPC's doing pretty well too, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm just getting ready to figure out points. Have we got 4 or 5 teams here today?
West Central, A-Town,
Yep, West Central.
A-Town, ICS, La Harpe Dallas City, and BPC.
Okay.
That's all that I've seen.
Yeah, West Central's the one that I couldn't remember.
They don't have a whole lot of girls, so until you get some they only have 2 girls as we're underway with the 400 here. Again, a 400-meter dash. The inside lane is already catching. That looks like a BPC girl on the inside lane. Catching down the backstretch. Ideally you sprint the whole time here, right? But you want to have a kick at the end.
Well,
is that ideally how this is supposed to work? Or
they call it a dash, but that's cruel. It's this is probably the most difficult event because it's not long enough to be considered distance, and it's just long enough to not be able to sprint the whole way. So you're supposed to sprint the whole way, but I don't know if you can have a kick or not. My legs were always jelly this last 100 meters. And any kid that I see that like kicks it, they're superhuman. It's just difficult.
ICS runner on the outside is going to pick up the win here.
Yep, she looks strong.
And she just crossed the finish line. So we watch them coming in. Good finish here. ICS and West Central, I believe. Ethan not right exactly at the line, but he looked like West Central might have got over an ICS runner. 200-meter dash will be up next now. Oh, well, the long jump isn't done. They switched and they're jumping the other direction with the wind instead of into the wind. Is that legal?
I don't know. We're doing it. maybe they've cut between the 7th and 8th, or I don't know. They're probably doing them at the same time.
Last call, girls 800. Please report to the bullpen.
One of each, maybe? Is that legal?
South end of the track.
I doubt it.
First call, girls 4x400 meter
Sounded
relay.
good anyway.
It did. It did.
Girls 4x400 meter relay. Please
Going to
report to
send
the
Kenny.
bullpen.
Kenny was over at the long jump, I guess. So we're going to send Kenny over to the throws to try and get a few throws in for the boys.
Here's your running total through 4 events with the 7th grade girls. West Central has yet to score. In 4th place, A-Town with 14. In 3rd place, BPC with 22. In 2nd place, La Harpe Dow City with 26. And in 1st place, ICS with 31.
I guess that the only team running the 4x2 probably helped that a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, they took 10 points in 7th and 8th in that.
Yeah. So Ethan's going to get some of the 7th grade high jump, I do believe. He says he was trying to find some warmer clothes down there. That wind is treacherous for these runners and for everybody else. The fans are all wrapped up in coats, and I guess at least we're beating the snow, though, right, Mr. Butcher?
Yes, we are. Well, if we get this done quick enough, we will.
Well, let's hope we get it done quick enough.
I hope so.
Looks like we're getting ready for another 4x100. 400. So we'll watch that.
I'll give you the results of the 4x100 7th grade girls.
That'd be great.
ICS in 2nd. Bushnell in 1st with a time of 108.12 seconds. The 8th grade girls, La Harpdale City in second with a time of 1 minute 14 seconds even. And in first place, Bushnell Prairie City with a time of 1 minute 4.81 seconds. So Bushnell swept the 4x1s.
So that gets them back up into the heat of the battle, so to speak, doesn't it?
Yeah, it moved them up into second in the 7th grade girls, and I'm going to try to get you a running total of the 8th grade girls.
They're warming up, it looks like.
Does he have a mic down there, or are we waiting on times, I think?
They're waiting on some times, I think.
It looks like from here further they're just doing times.
Having a little problems with the timing machine down there, it sounds like. So we'll take a break. We'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance
in the weight room.
prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life. Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True Convection Cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection Cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
McDonough District Hospital's Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center was built for one goal: to strengthen women's health services in the region's premier facility. Our dedicated staff, past and present, delivered generations of MDH babies, and now in the new Women's Center, our staff is ready to deliver the next generation and beyond. Come visit the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center and see for yourself the MDH difference.
And welcome back here as we have Ethan at the high jump. They're just rolling through it. We said earlier they were practicing, but they weren't practicing. They were actually jumping. The starting height was so low that they weren't trying. They were just going in and hopping over it. So they're up to 4 feet now for the 8th graders. It's the 8th grade high jump. They're up to 4 feet. Got a couple of them left, it looks like. We'll stay with Ethan while we're waiting on the timing to get fixed. Now, looks like Mr. Sargent's walked over and they've covered up the runners, so that's not a good sign for the timing. No. Now, back in the day, they used stopwatches, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that we have that many stopwatches, though.
Well, that's...
Is that a no-no thing to do anymore?
Yeah, I mean, you could get away with it today. It's just hard it's hard enough for everybody to stop it when they're supposed to, but then they also have to start it when they're supposed to.
Right.
I believe, you've got fully automatic timers, and then you've got semi-automatic timers. In the semi-automatic, you have one person that starts all watches with one button.
Which is what this one is.
Correct.
Because I heard him talking to which one of the coaches. Which coach is was doing it the other day? Yeah. So they are down there getting that fixed. Looks like the BPC jumper. Who is the BPC jumper down there, Andy? Talon Love. He's the quarterback for the junior high football team. He also ran the hurdles, I do believe. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
He did run the hurdles earlier. He's down here trying to clear the 4-foot mark, I think, unless they've raised it again.
Ooh.
And he does not get it there.
Well, I've got the running total for the 8th grade girls.
Okay,
go. This is through 5 events through the 4x100. West Central is yet to score. A-Town is in fourth with 4 points. ICS is in third with 24 points. La Harpe Dallas City is in second with 28 points. And Bushnell Prairie City is in first with 37 points.
Well, it looks like La Harpe Dallas City just won the high jump. Yeah, I was just told it was the La Harpe Dallas City kid just got first place. We'll find out who that is in a few minutes, hopefully, when they bring up some results from the field events. Still doing the long jump on the far side. Kenny has got some long jump video from earlier, and I'll turn that off. Sorry, folks at home. We'll go back to, we're waiting to see what we can do for a timing system here. Our timing system locked up. Not sure what you can do to fix that. I don't know if that's a reset kind of deal possibly, or if it's a broken, we need to figure out another option kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. If they got enough coaches around with a stopwatch, that's an option to keep things moving.
I mean, every phone has a stopwatch on it now.
Well, that's
right?
true.
So you just get your cell phones out, be the same. I mean,
Yeah.
essentially be the same. It's a little harder to push the button, and you can't do split times on a. Well, you can do split times on a
Yeah.
cell phone actually.
Yep.
So you can run a true stopwatch. It's just not, the buttons aren't as handy.
Right.
So we'll wait for word. I do have some. Everybody's got radios to communicate up here to the tower with. So when we find out what's going on, you might have heard Mr. Rigg. I think he's kind of the spearhead guy. It seems like the starter, getting everything organized, telling what to do, and he was asking if everybody had stopwatches.
Yeah, I think he's the bullpen guy that gets everybody lined up before the race starts so you can keep things moving.
He's the one that does the announcing on the smaller track meets. When Coach Rotifer's up here tonight helping, supposed to be helping score, but I don't know. It looks like Mr. Butcher's doing all the work. I got to give Coach Rotifer. Coach Rotifer did talk to me, did come on air the other night and talk to us. So if you're wondering why we're just sitting here, folks, we're sitting here because we're waiting to see if we can get a timing light fixed. I say timing light. You can tell I'm a racing guy. We use timing lights. We used to use timing lights where you'd run through the light and you'd run through to start it, and then you'd run back through to stop it. But this isn't the same thing. It's a stop by a person kind of deal. But helping to bring you this contest here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is JoJo's Gaming Parlor. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also, on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street in Bushnell. I guess we got the 400 off because I heard a gunshot.
We're back.
So much for communication on the radio, I guess. Or I wasn't listening. That's what I get. I talk too much. I'm told that all the time.
Well, I had no idea. I was looking down there. It just happened.
We just went. I wonder if they've got the light working or the scoring thing working, timing thing working, or if they're using cell phones. I don't see any cell phones in hand, so I'm going to say they must have got the timing working. I heard him say at one point they needed to reset it, so maybe that's all it was, right?
Yeah, it could be.
Couple ICS runners up front here inside lane. So I'm using 3, 4, and 5 maybe here.
Okay.
The La Harpe Dallas City runners in third. ICS has got first and second. Good run here for the ICS. I believe this is 8th graders. Go to Ethan for the finish. And the final runner, third place for Dallas City, La Harpe Dallas City. Andy, is it La Harpe Dallas City or Dallas City La Harpe?
La Harpe Dallas City.
La Harpe Dallas City. Okay. My daughter goes to school in Dallas City, but doesn't play any sports, so I have a hard time keeping up with which it is. I think basketball it's Dallas City La Harpe, and volleyball and track maybe it's La Harpe Dallas City.
Final call.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't either. Well, you're from Carthage. You ought to have known that.
I thought they just went in alphabetical order, but I guess they don't.
It's kind of like when
Girls 800.
you look at
Second
BWP
call, girls 4x400.
and baseball, it's Bushnell Prairie City, and in softball, it's West Prairie.
Well,
And football, it's West Prairie, but track, it's Bushnell Prairie City. Coach, I know Mr. Sargent gets a pretty good walking around here, doesn't he?
yeah. You get go down there for that 200 start. That's a good exercise for him.
First heat of 7th grade, 2 through 6th on the lanes on the track. So the inside lane and the outside lane, 2 lanes will be open here. Ethan should hopefully get the finish. So we're underway with the 200-meter dash. Looks like pretty much all the field events are done for the boys, just waiting for the runs to get done. This is going to be looks like it's going to be a pretty good run here. 3 of them pretty tight as they off the corner. That's where they should be even, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
ICS with the lead, A-Town in second, BPC third. It's going to be a good finish. See what Ethan's got to say here.
A-Town, it looks like taking the lead back.
Oh, but look, according to Ethan's camera, it was ICS. We'll see.
Okay.
See if his camera was correct or not. When it comes up, we won't know that, of course. Good finish, though, for the first flight of the 4x2. Or 200 meters, excuse me, not the 4x2. Now, why do they run the 4x2 before the 200? When they do the 100 before the 4x100?
I'm going to guess the the order is based on efficiency. I know they try to spread it out by, if you're a distance runner, they try to separate the 16 and the 8 so you can do both, but sometimes it's just a matter of where you're at in the meet. Like, that's why they do the relays twice back-to-back like that, because it takes judges.
Right.
And they follow the hurdles with the 100 dash because you're already down there. The starter's already down there.
Right. That makes sense. All right, getting ready to go here as we're sending Ethan a little closer to the start-finish line. Now stay on the grass, though, Ethan. Stay on the grass, but then go towards the start-finish line so you can kind of watch it if it's nose, like get the start-finish line at the line kind of deal.
That A-Town runner is out to a big lead.
Here's talking to our camera down there, and A-Town is a big jump here. Good run for A-Town here. A-Town, I'm told, only has 6 players or 6 runners here in the, and she gets the win for the A-Town Tornadoes as the 200 is complete. One more flight at 200 meters, I believe, over there. You can hear the wind picking up a little bit if we stick our heads out in front of the tower. It is windy and chilly out here. I haven't looked at any radar. I don't know how close the rain is. Coach Snyder told me that if we get to the 5:30 mark, we might be looking at some rain.
Really? Oh, boy.
I said, do you stop then? He said, nope, not unless it's lightning. And I said, holy cannoli, that's going to be cold.
Yep, that's why they called it an all-weather track. That's what we used to say.
Touche.
It's not a some-weather track.
Touche.
It's an all-weather track.
Getting ready to go here again is
They're still checking out the finish line. I'm going to read the 7th grade boys high jump results real quick. Martin of BPC in 6th place. In 5th place, Plate of West Central. In 4th place, Reed of West Central. In 3rd place, Schaefer of La Harpe Dallas City. In 2nd place, Knotts of La Harpe Dallas City. And in 1st place with a high jump of 4 feet 1 inches, Stroot of A-Town. Ooh.
Man, La Harpe Dallas City out to a big jump in a hurry.
Yes. Yep, and we got a ICS girls made up the stagger. And we've got a Bushnell girl in second, lane 2, that's looking pretty strong. Oh, yeah.
Is that Lieb inside there?
I don't know.
A big jump and a big finish.
Yep. 2nd place to Bushnell.
Well, Harpe Dallas City just ate that gap up in a hurry, didn't they?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Here's the 8th grade boys high jump results. In 3rd place,
Final call,
Cruz
4x400
of
relay.
La Harpe Dallas City. In 2nd place, Love, Bushnell Prairie City. And in 1st place with a high jump of 4 feet 0 inches, Stonger of La Harpe Dallas City.
Kyle Stoner, 1st place. 2nd place, Kylan Love, BPC.
So we are.
And 3rd place from Dallas City, Yano Cruz.
We should be getting ready to do the 800 here, followed by the 4x4. Is that right?
That should be the last 2, I do believe. If we use the same order that we did on Thursday night, that would be the case. I actually looked up the IHSA thing, and it tells you what order you're supposed to run county or conference meets and stuff like that in. I looked that up Thursday because it's been so long since I've done any of this that I couldn't even remotely remember how they ran it stuff and what order it was in.
Well, high school is different, and I could probably rip that off right now. Junior high, I've announced enough of them that I kind of know, but I didn't coach it, so it escapes me sometimes. It looks like all the field events have wrapped up.
Yeah, everything's done for the boys on the field events. And now, the one thing I noticed when I was at junior high, did they make junior high kids not do spins when they throw?
No,
because none of them, not one kid did the drop step with the throw of the shot put, and I'm not against BPC. I mean, not a single kid did a spin with the discus or the drop and the turn with the shot put either.
Well,
is it timing a year or something? Or?
Yeah, I'm not a shot and disc coach, but I would say early in your career, you're working on your form of release and throwing before you get to the other stuff. But I bet if we went down to Rushville, all their kids would be spinning and doing the hop step with the shot put. But I would say it's early.
And you're a weird season. And the thing I've heard not just BPC coaches say, but a lot of coaches, is you've got you might have 22 kids out and you have 2 that have ever been to a track meet before.
Right.
Because you didn't have track last spring. So 7th and 6th graders are 6th graders essentially.
Correct.
So if they've never done it, then you're teaching twice as many kids how to do something.
Yeah, in a shorter time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure that has something to do with it, but it just surprised me that there wasn't a single kid. We recorded most of the kids at least one time last week, and literally there was not one kid who did the step. There's a couple kids who kind of slid, but they didn't like a one-step slide for the shot put. But there wasn't a single person I saw with a discus that spun. They just stood there and twisted. Of course, maybe I noticed that more than other people because I can't twist at all. So I would have to spin would be the only chance that I'd have to throw anything anywhere. But as we're underway for the 800 here?
Yeah, I would be interested to see where we're at in a couple of weeks. That's something to watch for. See how they're doing in the spinning and
4x4.
Macomb's been practicing since they were allowed to start, which is April 5th or something like that, or March 5th or whatever it was, March 5th, and they didn't.
boys
None of them
100
threw
meter
or
dash.
spun
First
either.
call,
So
boys 100 meter dash. Please report to the north end of the track.
Well,
Now-
part of that's being able to get outside too.
yeah. Now, the third place runner right now from La Harpe, Dallas City is the one that won the mile. If you saw her on turn 2, as soon as she got to the drop down area, she slowed and actually tucked in behind the 2 ICS runners. So she's not out there being the lead goose, so to speak. She's letting the ICS runners kind of break the wind here a little bit, but she's going to fall back some here as this La Harpe, Dallas City's got 3 runners, it appears, here in the 800, whereas the ICS has got the 2 top runners in the 800 right now as they're going to run side by side down the front stretch. We'll see what Ethan's looking at here as they come to complete the he's not looking at much anything. There he is. He's looking at them coming to him here for the, well, there they go. Ringing of the bell. You heard it for the first time there. That's the first time I've heard the ringing of the bell. So the halfway home, 1 lap down, 1 lap to go. There's 2 BPC runners. Go back to Miles now as the leaders are on the middle of the backstretch. The front 2 are your ICS runners. Miles picks them up in the middle of the backstretch as they've got closing in on 200 meters left here in the 800. Then we'll have the 4x400. Already heard the first call for the boys 100-meter dash, and then we'll get ready to go for the long jump and high jump and shot and discus for the girls. Have not had anybody all year long do the pole vault.
I think I'm off.
I turned you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Go ahead. When you were talking to Andy, I figured I'd just let you talk. Sorry
okay.
about that.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I apologize. Just
No.
throw something at me.
That's okay.
And we got Miles all messed up. He can't find the runners. There you are, Miles. As the 800 winner is across the line, right in the pylon for the light tower. Come back here is looks like Dallas City, La Harpe, Dallas City is going to get 3rd and 4th.
Second call.
Oh, good kick for a BPC runner here. Going to try and take 4th spot. We'll see if she can catch or not. She had a good kick in the mile as well. She's closing in. It's going to be a close finish for 4th, maybe even 3rd. She's going to close but can't get there. She's going to finish 4th. A good kick by the BPC runner. So BPC is going to end up with 4th and 6th. ICS 1st and 2nd. 3rd for La Harpe, Dallas City, and 5th for La Harpe, Dallas City. 4th and 6th for BPC. So they do get a few points. So we're down to the last track event for the girls here as they get ready for the 4x400. Looks like BPC's got a team, and that might be it.
Here's your results of your 8th grade girls 200-meter dash.
Girls field events. First call, girls field events. Please report to your field
In
events.
5th place, Brant
First call,
of
girls field
BPC. In 4th place, Houston ICS.
Final call,
In 3rd
boys
place,
100 meter
Flynn
dash. Final
ICS.
call, boys
In
100
2nd
meter
place,
dash.
Lieb of Bushnell Prairie City. And in 1st place, Alexandria Lopez. That's her 3rd win of the day with a time of 29.78 seconds.
And the 4x400 has got just one team, BPC, with the only team here in the 4x4. And as Mr. Butcher puts pencil to paper, that'll be able to tell you pretty quick here in a few seconds how much this will probably help them a ton when it comes to points, won't it?
Absolutely.
Being the only team here as they close out the track events for the first half. I guess it's a little more than half, right? It's almost 2/3 of the event, really, of a track meet is track events.
Well, yeah, you're right. Because there's only 4 field events? Well, pole vault's 5.
But nobody's in it. It doesn't
Correct.
appear. So, but in high school, there'll be pole vaulters probably.
Yes.
There'll be triple jumpers, right?
Correct. So you'll have 6 field events, but you'll also have the 300 hurdles, the 3,200 meter run, and the 4x8. And they don't run those like they do junior high, where all the girls go while the boys do field, and vice versa. It's field events gets about an hour head start, and then they start in with all the running and rotate back and forth between girls and boys.
Gotcha.
We don't have times on that 1-400 where the timer messed up, but he's got placements.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I haven't done those yet.
First call, boys 1600 can report to the bullpen at the south end of the track. First call, boys 1600.
So the 4x400 is still
girls field events. Second call, girls field
going on
events.
again. The BPC is the only team with someone running here. Now that says Dallas City La Harpe on his sweatpants.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't it? It said DCLH.
We might be starting some trouble over there in Hancock County.
Yeah, we
not even know it.
Well, hey, you got results, bud? Yeah. I'll take them. We can take them. Thank you. Hey, is it Dallas City La Harpe or La Harpe Dallas City?
Dallas City.
Okay, there you go.
Where are you from?
Yeah. Hey, where are you from?
Dallas City.
Hey, what would a La Harpe kid tell me? What would a La Harpe kid tell me?
Well, we'll see if we can get a fight going.
Hey, and Mr. Rotifer. About said Andy, I apologize. Here you go. I got some results for you. This is discus.
Dwayne, I'm going to laugh about that all night.
Where are you from? My daughter goes there. I lived in Lomax. I can totally understand what you're talking about right there. And you are absolutely 110% correct. So you're only allowed 2 running events and one relay. Is that right?
I'm not sure about that. No, I don't think so. I think you can be in 3 running events. If you're in a 4th event, it has to be a field event.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, Andy might be able to. What's your limit on events? You can be in 3 running, 1 field.
2 field events max.
2 field events max.
You can do up to 4 running events.
Oh, you can do 4 running
4
events.
events total maximum. So
Okay.
If you do 4 running events, you can't do any field events.
Okay.
2 field events max.
Okay. Well, I learned something today.
I'm learning something every time we do this. I want to thank everybody for watching. We are up to 37 current viewers right now, which is probably more people watching than that because, they're. Now, I believe that's the same girl just got done running the 800 for BPC, and she just ran another 400, and she still had a bit of a kick at the end, but she was She was struggling a little more at the end of that.
Call, girls
This
field
is the
events.
final leg of the
Last call,
4x400.
field events. Boys 1,600 meter runners to the bullpen at the south end.
There are not as many parents here tonight as there were Thursday night.
Well, it's colder.
It is definitely colder, and it's windier. Once again, this is the final track event for the girls. It is the 4x400. BPC is the only team in competition in this event. The 100-meter dash for the boys are lined up, or just about lined up, and ready to go as soon as this is over. The girls will start their field events, and the boys will start their track events as Mr. Sargent works his way down to the 100-meter dash starting area. And by the way, I did look at the radar.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah?
Mr. Sargent. And it doesn't look like it's going to rain, but it might ice.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if the cold's going to get here fast enough. It's over just west of Burlington, and it doesn't look like the cold is moving fast enough this way to get here before we're done, I don't think. It's kind of just staying over there according to the radar I'm looking at. Kind of about Mount Pleasant, actually. So hopefully it stays. There is a little rain north of us, but it's ice and snow to the west, direct west of us.
Iowa can keep it.
Yeah, they could keep all of it. The snow is actually all the way over in southwest Iowa. It's ice right now getting into eastern Iowa. So I feel like a weathercaster now.
Yeah. Well,
when you're doing these outside events, that's almost what you have to be, isn't it, in this day and age?
yeah. Especially right now with what's going on.
And we're just ready here to go with the 100-meter dash for the boys, as they're already in the blocks and ready to go. Looks like they're going to be in 3, 4, 5, and 6 for the first flight. 7th graders. Coach Akers is up in the tower with us. Takes his perch down at the far end. He says, "No, I'm not talking."
We don't want you to.
I don't know why he would say something like that. West Central, he's the one that lost the shoe on Thursday night. He's going to keep the shoes on this time, and he's going to beat the A-Town runner by about 2 steps, it looks like. So West Central gets their first points of the day, or at least their first points on track, because I don't think any of the girls ran any track events to get any points, if I'm not mistaken. Did they finish? They only have 2 girls, so did they get any points? The West Central girls get any points at all in track?
I didn't see any.
Yeah, so I think they're just field events, I do believe. That the kid that just won that was the kid that lost his shoe in both the 100 and the 200.
Final call,
on Thursday.
Boys 1,600, please report to the bullpen.
Must have had him tied a little tighter today.
Must have.
Call, boys 4x200 meter relay.
And it's
First
cold.
Call, boys 4x200 meter relay.
Oh, we West Central girls got a young lady Ford got 3rd in the 400 meter. So there's their first points.
And look at Ethan's camera on the 100. It's a good run here. Looks like ICS is going to get the win. And second in that flight is going to go to Dallas City La Harpe. I'm going to say Dallas City La Harpe because it just seems to roll off the tongue better.
And it's alphabetical.
And it's alphabetical. That's the reason why it rolls off the tongue better, right?
You're right. I agree.
I mean, it has nothing to do with that my daughter goes to Dallas City.
No, nothing.
It has nothing to do with it. She's an 8th grader.
I'm sorry I'm not much help. This is crunch time. All the field events have come at once for the boys, and the girls are coming fast at the end.
Yeah, the girls stuff will come pretty quick. Doesn't look like there's a lot less girls than there are boys here today for sure. So I would imagine the girls' field events won't take very long either.
Well, I'm going to try to hustle here then.
Because it looks like a very small group of kids over at the long jump, very small group of kids at the high jump. Shot and disc look like maybe have a few more than that, but as we get ready to go here for the 8th grade, I think, getting ready to start now. Two through 6 in the first heat of 8th graders. You notice if you watched the other day, our camera angle is a little different. Because of the weather and the possible weather coming in the wind, we brought Miles up into the tower as the 8th grade underway. Dallas City La Harp's going to get, well, A-Town's closing at the end. Looks like it's still going to be La Harp, or Dallas City La Harp, though. But did look like A-Town closed down the stretch, but that's the first flight of the 8th grade 100 meters. Got one more flight of 8th grade 100.
There you go.
As Ethan is over at the girls' long jump now, getting them practicing a little bit, just trying to get a few shots of everybody as best we can. As we said, Kenny is at the discus and the shot. He's going to try and get at least one throw for each one of the kids there, so we'll be able to put some stuff online for you to see after the fact. We're at about 1 hour and 30 minutes here, and we'll take a short break and be back right after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
As we work together to stop the spread of COVID-19, McDonough District Hospital wants you to know that your health and safety are our #1 priority.
Our primary care providers are here to take care of you and your family's total well-being. Telehealth capabilities and the MDH Convenience Clinic all provide ease of access to our wide range of services.
All of this because we are committed to providing you quality and compassionate care that you have come to trust from us.
McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring.
And we're back here at Bushland Prairie City High School. As what I was talking about, the reason why Miles shows Mr. Sargent at the start of these races is just because where the beam is we can't quite get down to the track because we're so close to the track here. So he'll show Mr. Sargent with the start. So it's going to be getting ready to go here for the final flight of the 100-meter dash. We're ready to go. Going to be lanes 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. 4 runners in this last dash for the 100 meters. Dallas City La Harp, but ICS is closing. ICS passes Dallas City La Harp about 50 meters. A good finish coming here. It looks like it's going to be ICS, though, on the finish. That was a good run there as Dallas City La Harp got out of the blocks well, but then ICS passed about 50 meters, and then they were neck and neck the rest of the way, with I believe ICS getting the win.
First call boys 4x100 meter relay.
Now we're getting ready for the 1600, I do believe, the 1 mile run for the boys. And we'll take a look here and see what Ethan is looking at for the long jump. So we're still doing some practice jumps. I believe it's Do you get 3 practice jumps? You don't get as many as you want, right? There's only a certain number of practice jumps. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So Ethan showing a few of the practice jumps. We showed them last Thursday as they were getting their heel at the or their toe at the edge of the board and taking the steps back and trying to measure their steps. And I remember helping jumpers do that and put the piece of tape down with their name on it and all kinds of stuff like that back in the day. I didn't really see the tape or anything going down on Thursday, but
yeah, I would say that's probably not quite as technical this early in the year as well. See you, Tony.
Coach Akers is going to come up and say hi and then take off on us. He got done with track practice. I think he did some track practice maybe inside tonight. Can't say that I blame him.
No.
Not a real good night to be doing anything outside. That is for sure. As we get ready to go back here to the 1600. Now that I know what the little start is, take a step or two and stop again thing. I think the 8th grade high jump might be over already.
Oh, boy.
And if it is, we didn't get any video of it, but I think there might have only been 3 jumpers. And they're still practicing on the 7th grade jump over there. Getting a pretty big divot. They're all landing in the same spot, too. They might have just called a close to practice and get ready to go with the real thing now. But we're going to go with the 1600 here. Looks like they've got, I would guess they have 7th and 8th grade out here at the same time.
I'm guessing.
With 3, 6, 8 kids. Looks like there's 3. Yeah, because you can only have 2 per event, right?
Correct.
So there's 3 Dallas City kids, 3 ICS kids out there. So, sorry, Dallas City La Harpe kids. So that tells me that they've got 7th and 8th grade together, which will speed things up a little bit. Again, we're getting ready for the actual jumps to count over on the long jump. And Mr. Sargent's getting ready to start the mile. They are underway. Ethan's going to turn his camera around so we'll get a view of the mile runners running at him real quick as they go by. We'll go back to Miles' camera. When they're on the back stretch now. Pretty good gaggle of runners. Still waiting for the official jumps to start at the long jump. Mr. Butcher is keeping busy over there. They brought everything to him at once.
Yes, everything came at once.
That's part of the deal, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even realize they had a track and field book, scorebook.
Well, yeah, and this is the old school way of doing it. You can do it on the computer now.
You have to have all the kids entered in the computer, though, right?
Yeah, it certainly helps. I'd say this is easier for me.
As La Harpe Dallas City or Dallas City La Harpe is going to lead lap number 1, BPC in 2nd, Dallas City La Harpe 3rd, ICS 4th and 5th, and then West Central is 6th. La Harpe Dallas City. Heard a lap of 126, and that's one of the runners back in the 4th or 5th or 6th spot. So the lead 2 runners really keeping a pretty good pace here as they work to complete the There's the jumps are finally taking opportunity over here as Ethan is going to show the runners again up close. That's the West Central runner there. And Dallas City's got a couple runners yet to come across. Meanwhile, Miles is still on the leader, which is also a Dallas City La Harpe runner, and he's opened a little bit more of a gap over BPC's runner, who runs in second currently. And I will see if I can't get a little, and Dallas City La Harpe runner is going to get lapped. We'll see how far ahead the lead runner is. He's about 5 3/4 seconds ahead right now, going into the final 800 meters. West Central runner completing his 800 meters. Ethan is back over at the long jump. So we'll see if we can't get a jump or two from there, if we can keep people from standing in front of him. There's a jump. Looks like they're getting ready to measure.
Final call, boys, 4x200 meter relay in the bullpen if you're not already there. And second call, boys, 4x100 meter relay to the bullpen, please. 4x100 meter relay.
So we'll see what the gap is here as they work to complete the third lap, the bell lap coming up here for the 1600 meters. Actually opened it up a little bit more, 6 1/4 second lead that time passed unofficially for Dallas City La Harpe. Dallas City La Harpe also running third. The 2 ICS runners are running 4th and 5th. West Central is 6th. So we're still working on the 1600. 250 meters left or so as the leader is about to the start of the 200 meter dash. He is there right now, so it's 200 meters to go into 1600 meters. You can hear the wind blowing behind us probably as the building rattling a little bit. Down to the final 100 meters now as he comes with a kick for the Dallas City La Harpe runner. He's opened up the lead. He's about 75 meters ahead of BPC, who still runs in second. That time by had about a 13-second advantage. Looks like BPC will finish second. Dallas City La Harpe will be third. ICS, pair of ICS runners going to have a good finish here. Good kick between those two young men. And fourth and fifth will go to ICS. So we're still waiting on the 1600 to be finished here. We've got one runner with another lap to go. Ethan's going to hop over and get some of the high jump for the, I think it'll be 8th grade girls maybe. A-Town jumper right there.
Well, this was just what I needed to get caught up.
The longer 1600, right?
Yes, we needed a 1600.
Trying to decide if they're actually jumping. Yeah, they are jumping. Okay, so we're getting ready to go. Ethan's going to stay over there at that. Still have one Dallas City runner on the racetrack. And Dallas City La Harpe takes full advantage of getting runners. So you got to give them credit for that, Mr. Butcher. They've had people in pretty much every event except for the 4x2 girls. They've had somebody in every event.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's the way to score points. You get a young man out there that this may not be his best event, but he does one for the team and brings some points home. That's very commendable. Anybody that runs 4 laps around the track deserves.
Anybody that walks 4 laps around the track deserves
a medal or a ribbon,
a point or something. Because I ain't getting out there and walking 4 laps around. Well, that's not true. I probably walked that much last night or Saturday night at the races, but it doesn't seem like it's. I could never get into track as an athlete because running to run just doesn't has never appealed to me ever. Now I can play sports all day, or I used to be able to, and never thought about it. But just to go run around the track,
yeah.
I have a lot of friends who do 5Ks and 10Ks and stuff like that, but I just never have been one to do that. Do you have to start the bar really low? I mean, do you have to?
No. In a situation like this, when you've got ribbons and you've got only so many people in it, you want to give away all those ribbons, and you want to make sure that if somebody enters an event, just like this young man, he walked a little bit, but he finished the race. And for these ladies over here, you want to make sure they clear a height, because if you don't clear, you can't place.
Gotcha.
So when you get into something bigger, when we've got to, get through 18 high jumpers, you're going to start it higher. And if you can't make opening height, we're sorry, but
there's going to be enough kids that can make opening height.
Sure, that you're going to be able to give away all your ribbons and medals. And you should, except for the pole vault, when you get to like sectional or something like that.
Yeah, pole vault, when I was in junior high, they didn't even Bushnell didn't even allow you to do pole vault.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know if it was available for junior high at the time, but if it was not an option for us to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't obviously have done it anyway, but
it probably was not a recognized junior high event back then. For a while, some schools didn't carry it because it was an insurance. It raised your insurance. But I don't think it's that big of a deal anymore. You have to get a special coaching certificate to coach it.
you do.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yep.
So being a licensed per se, coach that's taken all the classes isn't enough to coach pole vault.
Nope. You got to do another thing and get that.
So once again, we're in the boys, getting ready for the boys 4x2 right now, as we're watching the
4x100 meter relay to the bullpen.
girls high jump
First
right
call,
now.
Boys 400. First call, boys 400.
BPC jumper going right now, and hit the bar. I believe that's her third miss, and that's what she gets, 3 misses, correct?
Correct, at each height.
So we're getting ready for the 4x200 meter relay now for the boys as the 7th grade long jump is taken off. And they're getting ready to go, so we'll go back to Miles' camera for the start of the 4x2. Mr. Sargent's got one arm in the air. The exchange zone judge on the far side is going to wave the white flag when everybody's ready, of course. Got to get in lanes 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe that's the lanes we're going to be in. But we don't have that many kids over there, so it must only be 3 of them.
Yep, 3. No, we got 4 lanes. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, 3 lanes.
Yeah, it is 3. 3, 4, 5. Those are the third leg that I was looking at back
Correct.
there. Have not closed much of the gap. We saw the girls that seemed like in every race, Mr. Butcher, there was somebody that closed a gap in a hurry, closed that, that inside lane would close or whatever. Didn't see that in that first leg of the 4x2.
No. Nope. I think closing the gap maybe just a smidge. Yeah, it looks like we might have the runner in the middle here is going to
close the gap in a hurry.
Yeah, eat that up. Yep, sure did.
And the inside closed up on the outside lane, but has not closed much on the middle lane.
A 3-turn stagger in the 4x2, you've got a lot more to close up.
Still Dallas City La Harpe in first and second. Now, in big school or professional track and field, they put the fastest team in the middle.
Correct.
Is that the way this is supposed to be set up if you know the times?
Yeah, your fastest team should get lane 4, followed by 5, and then it goes back and forth, 3, 6, 2, 7, 1, 8.
And Dallas City has taken off now. And now
Yeah.
ICS is closing and taking over second. That middle lane of Dallas City is really, that looks like a big boy relay for Dallas City, the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Those look like discus and shot put throwers. I was part of that relay. That's the only reason why I recognize it.
Oh, you better slow
that
down.
final leg is a pretty good sized kid. He's fast though.
Yep, he can move. Some of your best shot and disc throwers can move.
Yep, he's a big kid. He's fast though. But right here on the front stretch comes your 4x200 meter winner. ICS, I believe that's ICS. Is going to be second. Dallas City La Harpe going to finish third. You know, knowing you're the last runner and the other guy ahead of you has already crossed the start-finish line, that's got to be hard to keep pushing yourself to the start-finish line, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would imagine.
You weren't ever the last runner, though, were you?
No, they never put me at anchor. It's not that my team wasn't in last place ever. It's just that I wasn't.
You weren't the last one.
I wasn't the fastest guy on the slowest team.
I ran a 4x200 big man relay one time. And I was the second leg. No, I'd have been the third leg. I was the third leg because we started on the backstretch. What is the backstretch now? When that was the tower on the far side. Do you remember running here on cinders? Did you run here on cinders ever?
I probably did.
We used to do the hurdles and stuff on the far side.
Oh, okay.
And that's where everything was at. And Coach Thiel came up to me one day, and I was a track manager all the time. And he came up and said, "You're going to run the big man relay today. I need another big guy, and you're it." I'm like, okay.
All righty.
And I remember I took the handoff. We practiced the handoff. I knew how to do it. I just had never done it, you know. So we practiced a little bit. And we were the third team. There was 4 teams. We were running in third when I got it. And I almost caught the kid on the fast team from the second and the third leg. I was like, boy, your 4x2 is not very fast. If I'm catching you, you're not very fast. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there for what it's worth.
Well, there's not very many of those still around, but Beardstown has an all relays for high schoolers. The entire meet's 10 relays, and your field events, you add them together. So everything's a relay. And their last event is called a corn dog relay. And they hand off. It's the big kids. It's your shot and disc throwers, boys and girls, and they stagger boy, girl, or girl, boy, and the last guy has to eat that corn dog before they stop the timer.
Hey, I could do that. Man, you talk about closing up a gap on this 4x200. Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, that's 4x100, actually, so that's why it's a less of a gap. But look at him close up.
Yeah, it looks like we got 7th and 8th graders mixed here, and we
Yeah.
got a couple 8th grade teams that are just
flying.
Yep.
Dallas City La Harpe on the inside. Well, he took off way early. He's going to have to hold up. He got it, though. There's BPC. Looks like to be running in second spot. So the 4x100 is complete. So the last little bit is finishing here.
Yes.
The 4x1 is complete. Sorry, we were off air for a split second there trying to look for some batteries.
Second call here, boys 200. You can report over to the northeast corner.
So getting a call for the boys 200.
First call, boys 800. First call, boys 800. You can wait in the pit down there.
And
First
this
call, boys 800.
will be the 400, right? Yeah, 400 is next.
If you have a field and are completed scoring the field event,
So just Ethan's up here in the tower with us for a second, changing batteries, telling me that the high jump and the long jump are both complete for the girls. So when he gets warmed up a little bit, There's no heat up here in the tower, but there is less wind, which makes it a whole heck of a lot better than out there. So we appreciate all the guys that are outside videoing for us. And I say guys because they literally are all guys today. So I want to thank everybody. Miles is up here whining because he's cold, and he's not even in the wind. It doesn't always take audible words to say that you're complaining about being cold. Your hands are cold though, aren't they? It is pretty chilly out here. It feels like that ice that I saw earlier is headed this direction. I don't know if it really is or not, but it is cold. That is for sure, and it's getting colder as we speak. Folks, I might know how to keep your kids from playing on their phones. Just stick them out in the cold. Stick the phone out in the cold. The ice is just about to the river, according to my radar. Probably about 20 miles from the river now, so it's getting closer. Here we go for the 400 meter dash. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We got 8 out there? I turned you down again. I'm sorry, Mr. Butcher.
Oh, you're okay. I would say that's probably 7th and 8th both, maybe, but maybe not. Look at that runner in lane 1.
Yeah, he has ate up a lot of distance, hasn't he?
He has made up everything in 150 meters. That's pretty impressive.
He could slow down a bunch and have a big advantage through this turn here, wouldn't he? Not that he wants to, of course. That's an A-Town runner.
Yep.
And he is flying. That's about as close to a sprint as we've seen here today in a 400.
Yes.
That's a good run there. I wish I'd have kept a little time on that. I'll be interested to see what the time is for the 400 because that's a good run for A-Town here.
Second call, boys, 800 should be down in the pit.
Yeah, he's won by about 50 meters.
Yeah, that's a good run. West Central looks like that's a West Central runner, I think, in the outside lane there.
Yep. And
then a West Central runner is going to battle for 4th as well, but it looks like Dalsay Lahart may pass. BPC only had 1 runner in that. That was actually the 7th grade, apparently. Just the 7th grade. And here's the last runner for ICS coming. 2 runners, actually, for ICS.
Well, if that's just 7th grade, I will be –
There's another flight down there getting ready.
I will be surprised if that winner of the 7th grade doesn't have a very competitive time in the 8th grade race.
Yeah, he was flying, wasn't he?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. So we're showing the end down there as everybody's getting their times and their names. Tell you what, that was a good race. We'll be interested, Coach Butcher and I both very interested to see who the A-Town runner was in lane 1 because he was fast. Wish I had a time up here to at least give an unofficial time because that had to be a minute or under, don't you think?
I would think so. That's pretty impressive for a 7th grade boy.
It was pretty darn close to a minute if it wasn't. It was fast.
I don't know. You know, there's something about being pushed, and he wasn't really pushed, but being in lane 1, having everybody out ahead of you.
Yeah.
He got to run every one of them down.
Problem with that, though, is once you run them down, you know you have a huge advantage in the next corner.
Yeah. Well, he had them all run down by 150 meters.
Yeah. And then beat them all by 50, so.
Yep.
He closed a bunch in a hurry as we get ready for the 8th graders to run now. Looks like we got 7 here. Nobody on the inside lane. As the 200 meter dash runners are over there on the far side, ready to go.
What school's that?
What?
So,
long jump?
yeah.
Yep.
Well, we've got a couple of kids with a good stride in this heat as well.
So the 400 here. Well, this they're closer, Mr. Butcher, but they don't seem as fast. That A-Town kid seemed faster than these guys, but we'll see when the times come up here. ICS is going to lead off turn 4 as they come down the home stretch here. He has got great form, that ICS kid does.
Yeah, he does.
Very good sprinting form. Dallas City La Harpe kind of leaning forward instead of upright and picking the feet up good, but he's going to finish in second. BPC's got a third-place runner. West Central is going to battle for 4th and 5th. They're side by side coming to the start-finish line. And that'll be it for the 400s now. 200-meter dash getting ready to come now. They'll be on the far side. ICS picks up the 8th grade win.
Second call here, boys 800. Boys 800 runners should be down in the bullpen there. Second call here, boys 800.
Here, Mr. Rotifer saying boys 800. Getting ready. Two through 6 in the 7th grade 200 getting ready to go now. As soon as they're clear, they're ready to go on the far side. Mr. Sargent has already got them lined up and ready to go. 7th grade 200. 1 through 6. 1 through 6 they're saying now. 8th grade is going to have 8. 1 through 6th on 7th grade. 1 through 8th on 8th grade. As we get ready to go here for the start of the 200-meter dash. West Central runner in about lane 5, I think, or 4. Thought the whistle was good to go.
Oh.
So here we go. West Central runner is out front. He won on Thursday night in the 200. He's going to lead off the turn, what would be 2 in this instance, I guess. He's got about a 20-meter lead as they work to the start-finish line. BPC runner trying to close, but not going to have enough time, it doesn't appear. West Central will get the first win of the day, I believe. They might have won in the 100-meter dash earlier with the same kid, but that will get them a win here in the 200-meter dash. West Central kid is down there tying his shoe. It didn't fly off, though. It flew off both races the other day, so at least it stayed on this time. Once again, we want to thank everybody who's been watching us here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. As we've got a pretty consistent number of fans watching today. Again, we're going to put up some field event special videos, probably either later tonight or tomorrow. So be sure to watch for those. We've got some other sporting events to come this week. We've got junior high basketball and high school volleyball and maybe baseball on Saturday. We're still waiting to see if that's going to take off or not. Here we go for the 8th grade. All 8 lanes in action here for the 8th grade. As we get ready to go, Mr. Sargent's got his arm up, waiting for the signal to go. There's the whistle, so we're ready to go. There's a lot of wind. The smoke out of that gun blows away in a hurry. And we're underway. Lane 6 is moving pretty good. Lane 1 is moving even off of turn number 4. Down the front stretch of Como, Hart, Dallas City on the inside. A-Town on the outside. Nosed it out just a bit by A-Town. I'm not sure where it's going to end up. It's going to be a close finish. It's going to be A-Town with the win. And Dallas City La Harpe going to finish in the second spot. And that's how we'll end up the 8th grade 200-meter dash. So we're waiting on this. We'll take a short break and be back here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH right after this.
Some farmers I know swear by a name, say they'd never operate anything else. Well, here are a few names for my Fendt 900 Gen 6 series. Fuel Saver, Time Maximizer, Game Changer. I like those names.
Welcome back to Bushnell Prairie City High School. We'll help to bring you this contest, McDonough Telephone Cooperative and MTC Communications. MTC Communications. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in 2021. MTC Communications offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone services, and camera systems to McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas. Visit mtc.crowdfiber.com to check your availability. Also, MB Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store, will be celebrating its 60th anniversary in June. MB Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers top-notch customer service, free delivery within 40 miles, and the best in-home appliance repair in the area. For everything you need to furnish your new home or to replenish an old one, stop and see the fine folks at 481 West Main Street, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.mbfurniturinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111.
4x400 meter relay.
As we get
call, boys, 4x400
ready for the
relay.
800 here, I do believe.
Down to the bullpen at the south end.
Also help bring you this contest, Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell. For over 100 years, Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell has been serving the local community's needs for personal and business banking, as well as home and agricultural lending. Stop by the main branch, 484 East Main Street in Bushnell, or the drive-up facility on Cole Street to learn more. F&M is a member FDIC and a member an equal housing lender. And Heil Enterprises and Heil Trucking, you can take your product down the road near or far, and also offers top-notch heavy-duty truck and trailer repair. Second-generation business continues to grow and continues to support local athletics. Stop and see Danny or Travis at Route 41 south of Prairie City, or call them at 309-775-3333. And United Community Bank. United Community Bank services are designed to keep you in the game when you're on the go. With online and mobile banking that's nothing but net to friendly services you can count on from the leader of community banking. Choosing UCB is always a slam dunk. Visit locations near you with branches in Bushnell, Colchester, and Tuamacombe. UCB is a member FDIC. Whoa, and I lost part of my paper. Oh, and it almost came back to me. Guess I was done with that anyway. Also being brought to you by Rosie's Pizza. Rosie's Pizza offers sandwiches, pasta, and of course pizza. You can they deliver to Good Hope, Adair, and all points in between, or you can eat in-house or pick up for delivery or pick up at their address at 400 block of East Main Street in Bushnell. Yep, lost a sheet of paper. Surprised it took this long. If I'd really been paying attention, I could have caught it when it blew back at me. But as Mr. Sargent's told everybody where they can cut in here for the 800 meters, let's see if I can get a split time here. Won't be exact, won't be official, but should be close. So we'll see what we can do here on a split time for the 800. Bunch of kids running here in this 800. They got all of them out there at the same time, I would imagine. judging by the number that are out there.
Second call here, boys, 4x400 meter relay. Second call here, boys, 4x400 meter relay.
So the 800 is on the track now. So we got a trio of Dallas City LaHarp kids up front in this one. ICS and BPC in 4th and 5th respectively. And the final point, I think you said top 6 get points, so BPC's in 6th as well.
Correct.
So we're approaching the 50-second mark as we're about 130 meters from, 150 meters maybe from when I started to talk there, from the completion of lap number 1. You can hear the coaches and parents screaming in front of us as we're at the 120 mark now. And first lap at 125.87. 125.87 on the first lap for your leader. Again, that's unofficial as I'm not at the start-finish line, so I'm not sure exactly where he was at, but we'll call it 125.87 on the split time, so not a bad split time. See what our unofficial stop is here when he comes back around. He's got about 300 meters left. Mr. Butcher's been a little quieter here since the boys started running. Got a lot of results coming in on you, don't you?
Yeah, the girls' field events have all come in except for the discus. I'm trying to get caught up.
And it's on its way because they're done over there as well. ICS has come up to take the second spot as they were running 4th, now running in 2nd as ICS is trying to gain some points. Every point matters down the stretch here between these two teams, I would imagine. Those are going to be the ones that are the closest, I think, for the top spot. Okay, now get the leader out. Here comes the home stretch for your race leader. 2:48 and counting now. ICS has got a good kick, trying to close. Don't think it's going to work here, though. And the 800 is going to be complete at about 3 minutes. We'll see what the official time is. Right around the 3-minute mark on the 800. The finish here on Ethan's camera. A couple of runners coming in down the stretch. Still have one more BPC runner on the track. Miles comes back to find him. Ethan does the same. Trying to have a good kick here as he's going to run right into the camera with Ethan. And there crosses the stripe, and that's the end of the 800-meter run. Oh, I guess we got one more out there. Dallas City runner, excuse me, I apologize. Ethan was all over it. So we'll go back to Ethan's camera for the final runner of the 800. And that's going to be the end. I was a little premature on calling the conclusion of the race with one runner on the track still. So we're down to one race here in the Sand Valley Conference Tournament meets. A couple schools not here. West Prairie not here today. North Fulton not here today. And Mr. Butcher down there tallying numbers ever so quickly. We do have all the results here, so hopefully we can get through and read off some results before we leave today. if Mr. Rotifer could allow us to help with that. Looks like Kenny's got into helping with ribbons. Did all the video from the shot put and discus for the boys and most of the girls, and then he's doing some ribbon helping now as in top 6 get ribbons. And we're getting lined up for the 4x4, and it looks like all Dallas City in the 4x4. Three 4x4 running teams, I think, for the 7th grade maybe. Are you looking for girls or boys discus?
Girls.
I was going to say, I think that I got the discus handed to me, but it was boys discus earlier.
Oh.
Final event of the afternoon. Not sure if this is going to be, I think this is surely all of them because there's 3 of them out there and they're all from Dallas City, so it can't be more than 2 from any school, so that should be 7th and 8th grade together.
Something on here? Oh, you're welcome.
So the 4x400. So this begs the question, if you're out here running, if you're the fastest team, you're probably just out there running to beat your time because you know you should beat everybody you're running against because you run against them every day at school, right? So they are all Dallas City teams, it appears. Some intestinal fortitude to push yourself in these situations. Again, this is the 4x400. It is the last event of the day. Mr. Butcher has spent a lot of time getting points added up here. He's the official scorer for the event. As lap or leg 1, I guess you should technically call it, is complete. As Ethan is showing some of the exchange zones here for the first exchange.
Okay, that's the 7th grade 200, but I haven't done it yet. I don't.
And you can hear Coach Rotifer and Mr. Butcher talking and seeing what results are done and what results aren't done. And he's penciling them all in. They all came in at once. He had a little more time in between for the girls' events, but girls' field events got done so quick that a lot of stuff piled on him all at once here. But I do believe he'll probably have it pretty close to the time we're done running here. He'll have it, a lot of them in there anyway. And waiting on a couple last events. And we'll take a break, a short break when we're done, and then we'll come back with results as best I can get them for you. Before we close, and you can close the lanes now. As the second place team is maybe closed a little bit there. As we work to wait on the third team here as they are still in the outside lane, but they'll be able to close down to the inside. Mr. Zeringer's got jokes down there.
So we were curious about that 7th grade 400 runner.
Uh-huh.
He ran a 1:04.43. That would have gotten him second in the 8th grade event.
Yeah, it was a little slower than I thought. He just maybe it was a good. That's a good time for a 7th grader. Don't get me wrong, but it seemed maybe faster because he was so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
But 1:04 is a pretty good time for a 7th grader, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And like we said, he was out ahead of everybody. He wasn't pushed. It's early in the season. I'm sure he'll be under 60.
He could have been under 60 today if he'd been pushed a little bit, maybe.
Maybe.
If he'd have had one person in the outside lane, it could have kept ahead of him a little. I do believe we're on our last leg here. And what had closed up on the second leg is expanded quite a bit now. Coach is down there yelling, "Come on," because he got the end of the third leg coming to the stripe as the end of the fourth leg leader may catch him before he gets there. He's got a kick coming. There's somebody to push you even if they are a lap down, right? Can I catch him before the stripe? He might do it. Can he get him a lap down? He's going to, I think. It's going to be close. He does. Across the stripe he goes, just ahead of the third place team, so they'll have a full lap to go after the lead is done. Here comes the second place team, which I believe will be the first place 7th grade team, finishing now for Dallas City. Ethan shows them running to the camera here. That baton is probably, are they still metal?
Yes.
Man, that baton would be cold today, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I never even thought about that. And our final runner entering the final set of turns, and he'll be on the home stretch momentarily. And that'll end the events for the meet today. Again, we'll have results if we can get them here in just a few minutes. We can read through some results of individuals while Mr. Butcher is adding and finishing up entering results. Still running here. Coming to the stripe. Last on-track finisher of the day right here, Dallas City La Harpe. And that's how we will end the day. Dallas City La Harpe, the only 3 in the 4x400. We'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
As we work together to stop the spread of COVID-19, McDonough District Hospital wants you to know that your health and safety are our #1 priority.
Our primary care providers are here to take care of you and your family's total well-being. Telehealth capabilities and the MDH Convenience Clinic all provide ease of access to our wide range of services.
All of this because we are committed to providing you quality and compassionate care that you have come to trust from us.
McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
Well, we were camping, and then I got a phone call from my neighbor and said that we got hit by a storm. He said, "You better come home because there's no roof." He said, "I look up and see the sky." He didn't know what you were going to do, where you're going to go, but Country Financial took care of us.
We anticipate something that we hope never happens, but when it happens, we are there to make good on our promise.
Welcome back to Bushnell Prairie City High School. I'm going to turn Mr. Butcher's mic down for a few minutes here, and I'm going to try to read through some results. In the 7th grade girls discus, first place goes to Jada Schisler from ICS with a throw of 54 feet 5 inches. Second place goes to Noelle Rambo from Dallas City La Harpe with a throw of 53 feet 10 inches. Third place goes to Tessa McKee from Dallas City La Harpe with a throw of 46 feet 10 inches. Fourth place goes to Anna Servin. She threw 42 feet 4 inches from A-Town. Fifth place is Brinley Beekman from BPC with a throw of 32 feet. And sixth place goes to Chloe Kelly from ICS with a throw of 29 feet 9 inches. For the boys' 400-meter run, first place goes to Brunch Belize with a 103.73 from ICS. Second place goes to Connor Dennis from La Harpe, Dallas City with a 107.74. Third place was Ross Stell from BPC with a 116.92. Fourth place was Alex McGraw from West Central with a 117.74. Fifth place was Mikey Schramm from West Central with a 118.49. And sixth place was Keegan Walker from La Harpe, Dallas City with a 120.49. Seventh grade boys 400 meter. This is the one we were talking about, the fast time. Carter Stroot from A-Town, first place with a 104.43. Again, that was good even for second place in the 8th grade run. Second place was Aiden Garner from West Central with a 115.52. Third was Chase Heath from La Harpe, Dallas City with a 116.90. Has he entered these already? We're just going to read through everything we got here, folks. And when Mr. Butcher gets done with his stuff, I'll have him help me with it because he can tell us whether these are better times or not a little bit. But third place, as I said, Chase Heath. Fourth place was Jackson Van Fleet from La Harpe, Dallas City with a 120.46. Fifth place, Blake Ricketts from West Central with a 121.52. And sixth place was Brett Havens from BPC with a 129.87. The long jump. Not sure. This must be 8th grade girls. Yeah, 8th grade girls long jump. First place to Abby Nelson from BPC with a jump of 12 feet even. Second place to Alexis Gallagher with a 10-foot jump. And Ileana Solis from Dallas City La Harpe with an 8-foot 6-inch jump was third place. 7th grade girls long jump. First place went to Nadja Randolph from A-Town with a 10 feet 11-inch jump. Miley Barnes from BPC was second with a 10-foot 1-inch jump. Third place was Caitlin Ford from West Central with a 7 feet 11.5-inch jump. Fourth place was Rayleigh Rouse from BPC with a 7-foot 9-inch jump. 5th place was Avery Moore from Dallas City La Harpe with a 6-foot 11-inch jump. And 6th place was Mina Perez from West Central with a 6-foot 3-inch jump. Shot put, 8th grade girls. Montana Dyfus from BPC was 4th place with 11 feet 10 inches. 3rd place was Addie Schisler from ICS with 17 feet 1 inches. 2nd place was Addison Gillum from ICS with 18 feet 2 inches. And your 8th grade shot winner from La Harpe, Dallas City, Olivia Johnson, who threw 27 feet. 7th grade shot put, 1st place was Noelle Rambo from La Harpe, Dallas City with a throw of 18 feet 1 inch. Avery Stiegel from A-Town, 18 feet, was 2nd place. 3rd place was Anna Sermon from A-Town with 16 feet 3 inches. 4th place was Jada Schisler from ICS with 14.4. Tessa McKee from La Harpe, Dallas City was 5th place with 13 feet 4 inches. And Chloe Kelly, I believe, from ICS, 12 feet 4 inches for 6th place. 1 point for her team. 7th grade boys, 100-meter run. Drake Bielzer from West Central with a 12.49. 2nd place, Carter Stroot from A-Town with a 12.81. 3rd place was Elijah Noel from ICS with a 13.52. 4th place was Nick Houston from ICS with a 14.84. 5th place was Giano Cruz from La Harpe, Dallas City with a 15.14. And 6th place was Alex Akers from BPC with a 15.55. 8th grade boys, 100 meters. 1st place, Isaiah Knotts from La Harpe, Dallas City with a 12.93. 2nd place was Stephen Gibbs from ICS with a 12.94. 3rd place but disqualified was Riser Harn from A-Town. He ran 13.6. So 3rd place then would be James Hensley from A-Town with 14.24. 4th place would be Brunch Bowleys from ICS with a 14.56. 5th place would be Talon Love from BPC with a 14.85. And 6th place Carter Chapin with a 15 flat from La Harpe, Dallas City. Eighth grade boys discus. Caleb Thompson, well, we'll go down here. We'll start at 6th place, excuse me. Ty Moore from ICS with a distance of 46 feet 10 inches. 5th place was Caleb Thompson with a throw from West Central with a throw of 64 feet even. 4th place to Ethan McKim from Bushnell with a throw of 65 feet 1 inch. 3rd place to Isaac Link from Dallas City La Harpe with a throw of 79 feet 8 inches. 2nd place to Jackson Gillen from ICS with a 85 feet 9 inch throw. And your 8th grade discus boys winner from Dallas City La Harpe, Sean Watkins, with a throw of 93 feet 11 inches. Again, we're trying to read through these real quick, folks, and some of you watching, but we'll try to post these as well here if we can figure out a way to do that. We'll talk to Coach Schneider and see if we can get results. For the 7th grade boys discus, Elijah Noel from ICS picked up the win with an 84 feet 6 inch throw. 2nd place was Isaac Jones from Dallas City La Harpe with an 84 feet 1 inch throw, so 5 inches short. 3rd place goes to Dayton Smith from Dallas City La Harpe for 73 feet 9 inch throw. 4th was Nick Houston from ICS with a 58 feet 10 inch throw. Keaton Rubush from West Central threw 58 feet 8 inches, and Tim Servin from A-Town threw 48 feet 5 inches. 8th grade girl discus. The first place was Addison Gillen from ICS with 53 feet 3 inches. Second place to ICS as well, Addie Schisler, 47 feet 5 inches. Third was Sierra Shannon from BPC with 38 feet 10 inches. Fourth was Montana Dyfus from BPC, 31 feet 9 inches. And fifth with 3 scratches on the discus was Olivia Johnson from Dallas City La Harpe. 7th grade boys, 200-meter run. We'll start with 6th place, Alex Sostores, ICS 45.53. 5th place went to Wyatt Box, ICS 38 seconds flat. 4th place went to Aiden Reed, La Harpe Dallas City 37 seconds flat. 3rd place went to Miles Neff, La Harpe Dallas City 36.66. 2nd place to Alex Akers of BPC 32.78. And your winner in the 200-meter dash for the 7th grade boys, Drake Beisler from West Central with a 30.76. 8th grade boys, 200 meters. First place went to Bryson Harn from A-Town with a 27.68. Second place went to Carter Chapin from La Harpe Dallas City with a 27.96. Third place was Caleb Thompson from West Central with a 30.87. Fourth place, Thomas Misavage from ICS with a 31.58. Fifth place was James Hensley from A-Town with a 32-second flat run. And sixth place, Stephen Gibbs from ICS with a 32.46. Kylie Stronger had a 32.93, and Kyle Layferry had a 35.31 for 7th and 8th place, respectively. I don't know if we're reading all of them off, but we're going to get most of them here. We're just about done, folks, so bear with us. 8th grade boys 800-meter run. 6th place, Colton Schaefer from La Harpe Dallas City. 5th place, Alex Hood from BPC. Schaefer ran a 4:32.66. Hood ran a 3:34.22. 4th place was Ross Stell from BPC, a 3:25.34. 3rd place was Mark Simmons from ICS, a 3:13.28. Connor Dennis from La Harpe Dallas City, a 3:12.68. And your 800-meter 8th grade winner from ICS was David Simmons with a 3:11.03. For the 7th grade boys, just 4 runners. 4th place was TJ Gallagher from BPC with a 4:01.34. 3rd place was Alex Simmons from ICS with a 3:30.66. 2nd place, Reed Schaefer from La Harpe Dallas City with a 3:18.59. And 1st place was Isaiah Knotts from La Harpe Dallas City with a 3:03.72. 4x400 relay, 7th grade boys, La Harpe Dallas City, first place with a 6:15.59, and La Harpe Dallas City third place, but no points, 7:26.02. They did get lapped there at the very end. And 8th grade boys 4x400, first place, La Harpe Dallas City, 5:52.17. I don't know if we read all the results, but that should be most of them. I'll see if I can get some results of some sort from Coach Schneider, and we'll get done with that. Mr. Butcher's probably getting close. Are you, Mr. Butcher?
Very close.
Very, very close. So we're going to stay here for just a few seconds and tell you who the team winners are. I think we read pretty much all the individual results, so we'll stay and get you the rest of them and try to get you going here. We thank everybody for watching. Had around 40 people watching at one given time, so that's kind of cool. Of course, today it was kind of cool, so that's probably the reason why we had a few more watching tonight.
Okay, I've got final team results for you.
That's perfect. Go for it.
In the 7th grade girls division, in 5th place was West Central with 13 points. In 4th place was Bushnell Prairie City with 59 points. In 3rd place was A-Town with 64 points. In 2nd place was La Harpe Dallas City with 89 points. And in 1st place with 99 points was Monmouth ICS. In your 8th grade girls division, West Central was 5th with 0 points. A-Town was 4th with 4 points. La Harpe Dallas City was 3rd with 78 points. Monmouth ICS in 2nd with 84 points. And in 1st place with 99 points is Bushnell Prairie City.
Bushnell Prairie City, the conference champion at the 8th grade level.
The 7th grade boys results. In 5th place, A-Town with 29 points. In 4th place, Bushnell Prairie City with 35 points. In 3rd place, Monmouth ICS with 66 points. In 2nd place with 74 points is West Central. And in 1st place with 156 points is La Harpe Dallas City. Your 8th grade boys results. In 5th place with 21 points, West Central. In 4th place with 24 points, A-Town. In 3rd place with 64 points, BPC. In 2nd place with 67 points, ICS. And in 1st place with 161 points, La Harpe Dallas City.
Well, and you hear the stuff. We want to preface that or post-face that a little bit with the fact that I think, if I heard correctly, that A-Town only brought 6 people to the meet today, boys,
Correct.
girls, and combined. West Central placed a little better in the boys. You know, they got more points than boys, but they only had 2 girls competing.
Right.
So it's really hard to score very many points when
Yep.
you only have. So those teams, maybe they were down a little bit, and it sounded like they weren't getting points. They didn't have many opportunities to get points. So you have to take that into consideration when you see these teams. The team that brought seemed like they had something in everything. 2 teams seemed like they had something in everything, and that was Dallas City La Harpe and ICS. They figured out a way to get somebody in almost everything.
Yeah, Dallas City La Harpe scored in almost every event, multiple times in the boys' events. Had 2 people in almost everything, and Monmouth ICS and Bushnell were the other 2 that put full teams out.
Right.
Pretty close.
Yeah, and that means that those 3 are going to be towards the top most of the time. BPC was the 8th grade girls winner, right? That's the only one they won, right?
Correct.
So BPC, and then ICS won 1, La Harpe Dallas City or Dallas City La Harpe, whichever way it is, 1-2, right?
Yeah, the 7th grade girls went to ICS, and the La Harpe Dallas City swept the boys division.
They had a lot of boys running, and you talked about, you know, the mile where, you know, you had kids running the mile that maybe they wouldn't normally run the mile, but they're out there getting points for their team.
Yeah, you know, those little points add up, especially in some of those events we saw that were kind of empty. If you get the kids to get out there and can jump over that bar, or they bring you some points, or if you can put together a relay. But you know, today,
when you just don't have numbers, you don't have numbers.
Correct.
You know, and some of that is you know, when you only have 2 girls, you can't run any relays. You're I mean, obviously you're behind 8 ball in numbers anyway, but
right.
you're way behind the numbers when you have nobody. You know what I mean? You can't even get any relay together.
Yeah, if you can put together a relay, as my dad always said, that's 4 ribbons instead of 1.
Right.
If you can place them. So.
Right. Well, they weren't able to do that for some of these schools, but you know, COVID's striking some schools and all kinds of stuff, and everybody left us. Did you notice that?
I noticed that we're the last ones.
And Miles is ready to tear the camera down.
My hands are freezing.
Yeah, Miles is R2. He's finally got to put his hands away, though, so he's going to.
I haven't had my hands in my pockets for an hour.
I know. As many times as Miles has had to run a camera outside this year, you would think that he would remember to bring gloves with him and dress warmer, but he just. He is his father's son. Let's just put it that way, and we'll leave it at that.
Well, thanks for having me. I hope we can do this again sometime.
Hey, well, you know, we're gonna try to do some high school meets, and we might try to do another junior high meet or 2 if we can. But we'll definitely do some high school meets if we're able to get those. You know, that's all COVID pending, of course. And
right.
Everything that we're going to do all year long has been COVID pending, but it seems like it's kind of bit us a little more, and it really at the most inopportune time.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of one season, the start of another season, and it's just it's really caught two or 4 sports instead of one sport at a time, you know. So it is what it is, though, and you deal with it, you move on, and you keep playing, and the coaches keep coaching, the kids keep playing, and you do what you can do, and maybe we'll be here for baseball on Saturday, or maybe we won't.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm getting a cramp now.
It's heck to get old
Yes,
and
it
cold.
is.
So, well, everybody, thanks for watching. We do greatly appreciate it. Mr. Butcher, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be
again.
back here tomorrow night for junior high basketball, I believe, tomorrow night. So for Miles, who has been on the camera, thank you, Miles. Appreciate it. For Kenny and Ethan, who are on cameras as well, we greatly appreciate you guys watching us, and we'll be back tomorrow night here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Don't forget, share and subscribe to our Hewlett Public Pro LLC Facebook or YouTube page, if you would, please. We'll talk to you again very soon. See you.